Hello and welcome. My name is Marie and this is my yarn journey, and this is a very impromptu Tuesday afternoon extra video. I've just been thinking ever since I did the podcast a couple of weeks ago where I went through all my WIPs, that although my yarn storage and yarn cupboard is probably about the best it's going to get with the yarn that I've got in there, in the small space under my stack in my cupboard, if you've seen my other videos with that on, I could do with organising the yarns that are in the boxes in a bit of a better way. So I think I'm going to get them out now and just look through. And sometimes I do think because of the way they're stored, I can't always see them. Sam not long ago reorganised her yarn storage, and it's fabulous because it's in a cabinet that she can see them all, which is really nice, I think, and really inspiring, to be able to see your yarn stash and then know what's drawing you to knit on next. Because I do think looking at the yarns, the colours, seeing them and reminding yourself what you've got is helpful for inspiration. And unfortunately, with the way my storage is, I love the way I've got the boxes now, and I've got them in a pretty good way. It looks crammed and it is full, but I roughly know where stuff are. But what I want to do is get all the yarns out of the boxes, and I want to actually decide what I want in the two that I can get the most access to. Because if you saw that last video, I got some boxes and they're stackable and they have a clear front on so you can see in, but with the way that the yarn's stored in those, you can't always see what's at the back. Although it is easier to get access to something round the back by just pulling out some stuff. So I'm going to be brutally honest, I'm going to show you what we're starting with. It won't change in the way it looks, but I think if I can pull out the yarns and have a look at what I'm thinking might be my next couple of cast-ons. I'm very close to finishing my Tolster tank. That should be off the needles today. Hopefully the socks will be soon to follow, and I just want to, oh, and also the other point is, because I did show you, didn't I, a few weeks ago, that all the WIPs that I've got on the needles. After filming that podcast episode and looking on my Ravelry queue, I realised there's one that's missing. Now, I don't know how I could possibly lose a WIP, but it appears I have done so. So what I need to do as well is hopefully discover where I have crammed that sock WIP. And it is just a sock, it's not a sweater or something. So yeah, I'm going to turn you around and show you the cupboard now, and then pull everything out and we'll have a look at the yarns and see what I'm inspired to cast on in the not too distant future. Just wanted to show you as well, Vinny is fast asleep right now. Any bets? Not long after I go into that cupboard, he will come along and try and be very helpful. Just gonna do a little clip of what we're starting with. Yes, bit of chaos at the front, but as you can see, I do have these clear boxes and they have all my yarn in, which is really good. These baskets here have the single skeins in. All my progress keepers are in here. That's my stand for recording at my desk. So what I'm going to do first is just quickly get out all the bits that are just on top that can be easily moved out of the way. Apologies if this light keeps going on and off, but without it on, the lighting is quite terrible. But what I'm going to do is, once I've got all the yarns out, I'll just show you the piles that I'm putting them into. So I've not found my missing WIP yet. I've pulled a few things out, as you can see, not much, but I've just remembered this. If this was supposed to be a sack full of yarns for me to do Christmas knits with, which I've been very unsuccessful with. I will get back to it, it's just not right now. I did find a WIP in here, but I'm not going to mention it because it is a gift and it's still not finished. I did find a Willow Bay project bag in here, which is the first one I think that I ever got off her. Fabulous. And yes, I'm glad I found that, and I'll put that with my project bags. So I now have them stored somewhere else because there isn't room in here at the moment. Hopefully there will be in the future. But yeah, all the yarn that's in here is just ones that I've put aside that is leftovers from other projects that I am going to potentially use for gifts. I've made myself a brew because I thought I'd need it. The first yarns, apologies for that crinkle, that packet really does crinkle, I've come across is these three, which I was thinking of doing my, is it Willow Top by Lily Kate France with? And I've still not come up with a project for this absolutely gorgeous macarons yarn from the Afternoon Tea collection by Chromatic Yarns. It's one of those that's so special and I want to do it justice. I'm sure you've all got those in your stash. So they were actually in my Struck It, because what I normally do in my Struck It, inside there I normally put in my WIPs that aren't in my basket near where I knit, and I also then put my, as you will have seen before, I put my blocking mats on top. Just means that they're very, very easy to get out. Just chuck my projects out of it, use the Struck It. You can see it's a bit clearer now. I always have my Swifter there. I've got the lovely Knit Pro one. Fantastic, love this. My other plastic one just was a bit naff really, and it gone a bit weird and you couldn't always slide it up and down. This one's beautiful to use, absolutely love it. So I highly recommend this Knit Pro Swift. A little bit more expensive, but definitely worth it. And my partner got me this for Christmas. So I'm just going to carry on now, and then when I've got some more yarn out, I will show you that. So I'm not sure how much you can see of the floor around here. It's looking a bit chaotic, but I'm not too worried. I know where everything goes back in the cupboard. Just now I need to get out these boxes now, and then I'll be able to look through the yarns and decide what I want to do and where I want to put things. These two massive, see, some of the boxes at the back are quite empty. Now I'll try and lean this, I'm probably not going to get all these out. These are all my single skeins, and I'll just pull this one round so you can see. Yeah, I've got a lot of single skeins, and I've said this before, when I went to my first yarn show, which was Yarndale, and in that first sort of 12 months of me being back into knitting and learning about knitting again after 20 years of or so of not knitting, maybe a bit less than that, then yes, I was like a kid in a candy store with all the single skeins, mystery clubs, all that sort of thing. So I did end up with quite a lot of single skeins. I am finding better ways to use them. I am still on my sock journey, as you know, so lots of these are going to be used in making socks to go in my box of socks, although I don't know how many is going to be finished by my birthday in October, but I will start that again and they will go into my drawer. Hopefully each year I'll be putting in socks that fit me better and maybe more pairs, who knows. And then obviously I'll probably end up making some sort of thicker bed socks. And I was thinking I could always do some marls as well, because I don't think I've got that much DK in here. I did mainly buy 4-ply. Quite nice that I have now learnt that I can sometimes use 2 different skeins of 4-ply in a top. But I'll just move these out the way and then I'll get to looking in the boxes and showing you what I'm doing. Get to the exciting bit. In these boxes, so these are all my single skeins, so I am quite organised. The ones in the top are ones I'm going to get to sooner. These ones later down the line, or I've put in this bottom one colours that are for my partner. So he likes the browns, the greens, earthy, woodland sort of colours, mustardies. So I've so far only knit in 1 pair of socks and 1 jumper and 2 hats in 4. 2 hats or 3? 2 hats in 3 years. 4 years, however long it's been. And I do obviously need to get, but when I did go to shows, one thing I did do as I got better at being more organised. So now before I go to the show, I look at 3 to 4, around that number, garment quantities of yarn that I want for a specific project. And I do that and I put it in the notes on my phone, and that's so that I can think, right, I know which garments and I know what sort of thing I'm looking for. And also always go in mind with picking up the odd skein, because my partner absolutely loves his knitted socks. I knit a 64, I think it was. I've got it all written down anyway. And I think I just did a 60 row foot and 60 row leg, and he loves those socks and he wears them quite regularly. So I'll definitely enjoy getting him a few more pairs done. But I'll just move these boxes out of the way and get on to showing you the sweaters quantities, or it's anything that's not what I'd class as a single skein is in these other crates. And right on cue, Vinny is looking at me from behind the camera because he is dying to come and get involved, but he can't quite make it through the pile of yarn. Do I dare let him through? Oh, sorry if he knocks the camera. Oh, sock blockers. Can you not quite get through, Vinny? Hey, they'll be able to hear you breathing, won't they? So, sorry if there is rustling and all that, because a lot of my yarns are still in bags. I'm very paranoid about moths. If I see any I hate moths. I hate moths, but if I see any, I have to kill them on site now, unless they're giant moths and then somebody else is instructed to kill them. Sorry for any moth lovers out there, but I really don't want them to eat my yarn. Look at the drape on that. Now, I bought this yarn and I absolutely love the colour, and this is another thing that along my knitting journey I am starting to learn more about now. I bought this absolutely beautiful yarn. I think, yeah, it's called Turkish Delight, which I love Turkish Delight, so that's a winner too. But is this going to suit me now? So this is what I'm thinking. It's like there's a few colourways that I've bought earlier in my journey, and this was a couple of years ago. This was only my second. I think this was the first yarn festival I went to where I really feel I spent as much, but I was more organised and more intentional with my purchases. Now, this yarn, I absolutely love it. The makeup of it is alpaca, linen and silk, which is, I think, is a fabulous blend, and I love the colour. But is that a colour that's going to suit me? And am I going to want to wear it against my skin? Now, at the moment, it's summer and I've got a bit of colour, so that makes a difference. But I'm not sure I would do this again, this colourway. I'll probably do something a bit more, a deeper colour. I think this is a bit too pale. But what do you think? Because I'm supposed to be doing with this Now, what is it called? Slightly Sassy V, I think, but I will put a picture up and I can see the image in my mind, but I cannot for the life of me remember the designer's name. This is the Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino in Blueberry Ice Cream. So in here, I think I did put a lot of the yarns that I am wanting to get to soon. This is my Advent from 2023, which was the beach one from Blue Fern Yarns. I've still actually got my gorgeous Progress Keepers in there, if you can see them through the bag. Yeah, I am supposed to be knitting up a lace cardigan with this. I'm going to try doing a fade. I really wanted to make this lovely yarn into a garment because I got the Luxe 4-ply, which is 70% merino, 20% silk and 10% cashmere. And I've seen a lacy summer weight cardigan that I fancy doing with that. Now, I'm sure I had a pattern in mind for this and I can't for the life of me remember what it is now. But this is a lovely purple that is a 50% merino, 50% silk, which is why I bought it as well in the bargain bucket. Yarn Unique. I have got this together for doing a top. It's 4-ply, so there's enough there for me to do a sleeveless top for sure. Now, this is a top by Perfectly Knotted that I want to do with this yarn, and I'm really wanting to get to this quite soon because it is a summer garment. Not likely to be knit in the summer, is it, at this rate? But it's knit flat. It's knit in 2 panels, I think, and then you seam up the sides. Now, I'm very interested to do that. I do like a bit of flat knitting. I don't like seaming. I do think my seaming I need practice with, but I enjoy the process of knitting flat, so I'm really intrigued to do that. And I do like different constructions now. Just makes the knitting a bit interesting. Oh, and in here I have got my Chroma Nima yarn, which this was a bit of a story, wasn't it, if you remember? So my intention with this yarn was to do the Adventitious, if that's how you say it. Can't remember the designer's name, but I'll pop the picture up. But I couldn't meet gauge with these yarns held together, and also was concerned because I had 2 skeins that were a creamy colour, and then I had 1 skein that was this bright white, which was one that I purchased separately from the dyer, in the thoughts that I would have enough yarn to do that. But yeah, I need to, have I put my now I have made a swatch with this, and I don't know if I've unravelled it. I think I must have, because it's there, a little piece there. Anyways, I am not going to give up on trying to make some sort of garment with that. I definitely will. It's 100% cashmere. Chroma Nima, if I didn't say, is a yarn dyer, and yeah, I really would like to make something that I can wear from that. But I need to think, and I think this is where knowing your gauge, and your gauge you get on certain needle sizes with certain yarn thickness is, you know, as you become a more experienced knitter and you learn these things, it does help you in making those decisions, and also picking fabrics that you like as well. Okay, and in here there's this yarn, but now I'm not going to get to this anytime soon, so I'm not really sure why I've got this in the front. This one was yarn that I got in a yarn swap. It's Eco Tweed. I think I've got enough to do a top. Again, I can't remember the designer, but it's a long sleeve top. Hopefully I will have enough, because that will be fantastic. I'll put it up on the side so you can see. And then in here I have got my leftovers from my Paul sweater, and I'm going to pair that with this Dropped Alpaca Silk, which my partner got me for Christmas. And that is another summer top. It's not really a summer fabric, but it is it's a short sleeve top. I think it'll be spring, summer, a spring and autumn top really. But I don't think that's what I'm going to be casting on soon, but that knits up super fast. So yeah. What I need to do really is have some sort of organisation here. What I did pull out is my lovely bag which has got my advent in. My advents I got last year from Fibre Fox, which I love, but still for the life of me cannot think what to do. I did like, there was a shawl that Laura Penrose made. Now, as you know, I'm not much of a shawl person. I am doing the one, the Night Lights, I think it's called, with my yarn that I'm getting from my Creative Garage. But that is, I will do that, and I'm hoping to do a pair of navy mittens to go with it, and a navy hat for when I'm doing my dog walks in the winter. But I don't really need loads of different ones. I don't really wear them. Shawls aren't something I wear around the house and that sort of thing. And you know, as you know, I've got my couple of blankets on the go anyway. So I'm still torn over what to do with that. Now, the funny thing is, I still haven't come across that missing WIP, and it's really frustrating me now because that WIP, I hope I've not lost it, because it's an absolutely stunning yarn, and I was making the Mermaid Avenue socks with it. I'm hoping I just come across it in one of these tubs, because where else can it be? I've looked where I put my project bags, unless it's right at the bottom of my basket next to my chair. Watch this, I've done all this to try and find it and it'll be over there. Anyways. So this is Midwinter Yarns. This is 100% linen. I've got a top in mind that I want to do with that. I've got 4 balls of Knitting for Olive pure silk in this grey. Then I've got the red yarn. What I might start doing, that is Lang Quattro, sorry, and again I've got this earmarked for a top, and I think I am going to stick with the top that I'd originally planned for that. Be brave and go for something a bit more fitted or dressy. Then I've got my gorgeous Robin's Egg in DK. Now, I've been thinking about this recently, and I got this, and then Lily Kate came out with the checker plate sweater. I don't think this is the right fibre, and I've made fibre mistakes before with projects. So although this is DK, and you'd think it'd be great, it's not got enough structure in it, I don't think, for that garment. So I'm going to check on this how much I've got. But what do you think to me doing? So this is DK weight, 100 grams is 196 meters, and it is 100% cashmere. So the yarns that come from Ula and Leah, which I have got in there, I've not done it this year. This year I have been especially good. I have not done, and I'll definitely probably will do it next year, I would imagine. They do a Kickstarter every year around June or July. And when they do that, you can basically pre-order the yarn at a discount. And they give you lots of options of what you can get, and then you they are then being funded to get over to Mongolia to collect the fibre, do the processing, all that sort of thing, and then generally about 6 months later you get a lovely package in the post with all your yarn in. And the yarn is stunning, and it comes quite heavily with spinning oils on it, and it really softens and blooms. The yak was fabulous that I had in my Mudo sweater, so I'd highly recommend if you haven't tried this yarn before. It's quite expensive if you're not buying it on the Kickstarter. So they also on the Kickstarter do like a 400-gram variety pack, I think they call it. But anyways, I think I've got enough to do the calm down sweater with this, calm down cardigan with this. And I think that might be an option, but I need to see if I've got enough yarn for that. But it's not one that's going to be cast on anytime soon, so I'll leave that in there. I've also got this, absolutely gorgeous yarn. I've got a 400, have I got 400 grams of this? Must have, yeah, 400 grams, and it is this is called Molly Raven, and it is 100% non-superwash merino, and it's a DK weight. 100 grams is 225 meters, and that is from U Tree Yarncraft. Lovely Diane. She dyed that one up for me specially, and it's turned out beautifully. Then I have this beautiful yarn from Giddy Yarns, and this is colourway Marshmallow, and it's a 75-25 standard sock base. This is beautifully soft, and I am going to be, have I made plans for this? I think I've got a plan for this as a t-shirt that I want to do. T-shirt. Short sleeve top anyway, with a textured front, from a designer that I've never done a pattern from yet, but I do eye up her patterns quite a lot. But they are more fitted than what I normally wear. But yeah, another challenge to myself there. And the last one that's in here is my Kinross 4-ply, which I'm yet to cast on. I can't even remember where I got that now. Oh, I ordered it after, didn't I? And I've got in here some beautiful minis, which were in there especially for you. Kylie and Jason, I used to have their posters in my bedroom. I had to get this set, so, and these are the beautiful colours, going to be used for colour work. And it's the Stone Crop sweater by Andrea Mowry. One of my lovely viewers purchased it for me. I've still not cast it on, but this is going to be my first winter garment that I'm going to cast on. So I think I want to put that in one of the boxes that's close by. If anyone happens to know where my missing WIP is, I'd be really, really pleased if you told me. I cannot believe I can't find it. Now, I'm probably not going to go through all the yarns that are at the back. I just want to see if there's any that I want to get out. See, even though it does look cluttered, they are quite easy to get to. I don't know if you can see, but you know, you can just lift these down. Quite a bit of space in this back one. The top one at the back there has got quite a lot of summer yarns in, but there's summer yarns that I haven't really got plans for at the moment. But again, they're quite easy to get to, so we'll leave that there. I'm wondering if I can fit that frog yarn anywhere, but I'm not sure that I can. Right, let's see what we can fit in. Anything else that needs to come out of these? This is my Blue Fern advent from last year. As you know, I've already knit with the Christmas Day skein, and I made my everyday attitude with that. I was wearing that yesterday actually with my floaty trousers, and I just still do wish it was a little bit longer, and I'm considering knitting it again, but I'm on a quandary of whether to knit it in a bigger size. But I would have to probably have at least 150 grams of each, because then I could knit it at the same gauge I did last time. This is another one of my Ula and Leah yarns, which I totally forgot I had in this colour. This is 85% wool and 15% cashmere. Beautiful periwinkle colour. I've not got any plans for this yet, I don't think. But that's 4 skeins of fingering, so I can definitely make something. And this is the knitting that I frogged because I wasn't getting the right gauge. I don't think I've made a mistake in the yoke. This I am hoping to make a Christmas sparkly sweater with. I have no idea when I'll cast that on, so that's not one I want. Oh, and this yarn is stunning. This is 80% merino and 20% bamboo. It's a giddy yarn, and I am going to be pairing this with this Rowan, what's it called, this Cashmere Haze, and it makes a stunning fabric. And I'm going to be knitting a sweater with a lace panel down the front. I can't remember what it's called, but I'll put it up at the side. Then I've got my beautiful Isla yarn. She's one of my favourite dyers. Don't know what I'm going to be making with that. Oh, and there's the rest of the, what I'm calling my Christmassy sweater yarn. So I'll just pop these back in. Now, I'm not going to get everything out of that bottom box because I know there's stuff that I don't want to get to right now. I wanted to show you this. Now, I went with mind of getting yarns that have got a silk content in at Woolly Good Gathering, because I've just made this top, which I'm wearing, which is the Outline Tee by Jessie Made Designs. Absolutely loved how this turned out. It was the first garment that I finished that I really felt happy with, and it was like a real wearable piece. I didn't do the outlines in this because I didn't fancy those on it, but the overall fit and look of the garment I really, really liked. So I picked up this, and it was like an impulse purchase. I love the colour. It's absolutely stunning. But look at it against my skin. I know it's bad lighting here, but is it going to suit me, this colour, in a garment? I'm not quite sure it is, really. Don't really know what I was thinking. And I don't actually think I've got a garment in mind for that, but I've definitely got a garment's quantity. It's DK weight. And I've got 5 of them. I think I've got 5, yeah. Six balls, random balls here of the Jameson's Shetland Spindrift. What do you think? Any suggestions of what I could make with them? I've no idea. In the bottom box there, I've got cotton yarns, and I've got some leftovers from my Mudo, which I thought would make a gorgeous pair of colourwork mittens. That's my idea for them. Most of the yarns in there I don't have any plans for. Like I say, most of them are cotton. The ones above are a lot of my other summer yarns. I do actually have in here, this looks a bit of a mess, but it's Fibre for the People. It's a cotton merino blend in this lovely peach colour. Again, I'm not sure, does this suit me? Who knows? But I started making the underlace top with this by Lily Kate France, and I frogged it because I was struggling with the lace work. Now I think I'll be able to tackle this better this time. Now I'm a bit more experienced, a bit more confident with gauge, that sort of thing. But I was off gauge, which I'd calculated for, and I was making a bigger size, but I didn't anticipate how that would affect the lace pattern. Right, so what I want to do now is try and finalise these 2 boxes that are at the front, because these are the ones that I'm going to get to the quickest. So let's have a look. I definitely think that this is going to be very, very soon with the willow top, hopefully. So that can go in there. That one I've no plans for. I don't think I've got any plans for that one. This one I'm hoping to be quite soon. Plans for that, plans for that. I'm going to take them out of the crinkly bag, I think. You know what's going to happen, don't you? I'm going to do all this, then we're going to change seasons, and then I won't be needing all these summer yarns near. But I suppose then I can just swap the boxes around, maybe, to make it easier. All right, that's the one I'm going to have on top. There seems to be a lot of purple in this one. Right, let's put this jigsaw back together. So here we are, the jigsaw puzzle is kind of back together. Not looking much different, but I do feel happy now that the yarns that I want to cast on next are in this box here. Maybe the bottom one. And yeah, still haven't found the missing WIP. And there you have it. I'm still none the wiser of where that WIP is. I think next port of call is to look back and check which project bag I had it in on the last podcast where I mentioned it. Like I say, I will be quite gutted if I don't find it. It was the Mermaid Avenue socks by Summer Lee. It's not a pattern that I think I will have taken out and about on travels and left anywhere. So who knows where it is? Crazy. How can you lose a WIP? It's definitely not in my basket. I've been and checked that. I've been and checked where I keep my project bags. It's not in there. Total mystery. Anyways, I'll leave you there. Hope you enjoyed this little impromptu video and having a little bit of a mooch through my stash and look at the yarns that I've got for some projects. Like I say, most of my sweater quantity or larger quantities of yarns are earmarked for projects, and I do try to do that now if I go to shows or anything. Haven't really bought much this year in the way of large amounts of yarn, apart from when I went to East Anglia. So for the end of July, beginning of August, I think that's pretty darn good. And yeah, hopefully by the time I see you next time, I'll have discovered what's happened with that WIP. Who knows? Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I'm not far off the 1,000 now, and it would be really, really nice to get there. Have a good day. Bye.